Grooms Tavern is located on the corner of Sugar Hill and Grooms Road in upstate New York. The building is rich with history, and in researching the tavern itself, local historians have been able to get a better look into the timeline of Clifton Park, New York, a small town that split off from Half Moon in 1828. It was in Grooms Tavern that the first official town board meeting of Clifton Park took place, and since then, the tavern has served many purposes over the years. The room directly off the entrance served as a carriage house when the building was first built in the early 19th century, and still is decorated with wooden beams and planks throughout. Grooms Tavern now serves as a historical and cultural center for the town of Clifton Park, so there are exhibits on the walls of old newspapers, vintage photographs, and even a photo of the Erie Canal, which served as a major transportation route when the building was first constructed. Directly off of the carriage house is the kitchen, which has been renovated since the town bought the building in 1999. The original fireplace had been covered up, so it was dug out and restored with a new mantel added to mimic the federal style that the tavern was originally built in. The color red was chosen by recommendation of a historical restoration specialist, as that was what color the mantel most likely would have been painted. Red was the easiest color to come by in the 19th century, as well as the cheapest, and this is thought to be one of the reasons why barns are painted red due to the quantity needed. The wooden cabinets shown are product of a renovation thought to be done around 1847, and they were one of the first indicators of the development of design styles throughout the building. The shelves are kept stocked and staged by volunteers of the community with an eye for historical design. The volunteers source their decorations from estate sales and garage sales in the area and decorate from season to season. The general store is towards the street-facing side of the tavern and was an addition made to the tavern by Samuel Groom, one of the many owners of Grooms Tavern. The cash bar and shelves take up what used to be the main tavern space and taproom area and served the community when the other store just across the street shut down. At its height, the tavern served as a social gathering place where men and women alike could come and meet their friends, eat and drink, and catch up with one another. The tavern served both locals and outsiders, and due to the convenient location close by to the Erie Canal, Grooms Tavern was also an inn where travelers could rest. Rosehead nails helped to date the original construction of the tavern and are shown throughout the building, dating the original construction back to before 1828. Because women weren't allowed in the tavern area or near the tap room, a women's parlor off the back was where ladies would go to chat amongst themselves. The beautiful archway encasing the room is a distinct federal style and painted a blue that was popular in the mid-1850s. The ladies' parlor also houses a stove surrounded by a false mantel. As fireplaces gradually began being replaced and upgraded to stoves, people had found that the mantel had become such a necessary focal point of a room that they continued to build them even if the purpose was no longer served. The oak piece in the center of the room is an antique mailbox, one that would house the entire community's mail. Grooms Tavern had a similar one that was placed there after the nearby post office shut down. The Friends of Grooms Tavern have procured numerous grants over the years since the building was obtained by the town of Clifton Park, and with those funds there have been many renovations overseen by historical restoration specialists. One of the many renovations was to add a staircase that mimicked the original leading up to the second floor. On the second floor, there is a large gathering space, which is where Clifton Park's first board meeting was thought to be held. Several more board meetings were held at Grooms Tavern between 1848 and 1868. The meeting room now holds exhibits showcasing Clifton Park's history, which are still being organized and developed. Off of this meeting room are several small rooms that were bedrooms for the inn. In the 1850s, hotels and inns did not value privacy, and any available space was filled, even if it meant sleeping next to a complete stranger. Bedrooms served their purpose, being tiny, simply furnished, and containing a rope bed that was to be tightened before bedtime. There are several indications of a remodel done around 1847, as there are several elements of Greek Revival architecture in the tavern. The false mantle in the ladies' parlor is one example, and the second-story doors are another. As eras shifted, so did the design styles, and while undergoing new ownership, the details of the tavern were also changed. A bathroom on the second floor remains untouched, as Grooms Tavern awaits grants from the state of New York to continue renovation work. While most of the first floor has been renovated and restored to serve the community in an accessible way, the second floor is still very much in need of some changes. Several more rooms on the second floor house artifacts awaiting exhibits, and the state is in the process of providing both financial aid and available workers to help maintain and restore Grooms Tavern to its former glory. An additional building on the property is a blacksmith shop that is yet to be renovated. It provided convenience to travelers who needed their horses to be reshoed or their carriage to be repaired. There are inscriptions on the walls of the blacksmith shop of married couples who tied the knot in the mid-1800s, possibly indicating that one of the owners of the tavern had been an officiant or that the tavern was a destination for honeymooners. After being abandoned for more than a decade, Grooms Tavern is on its way to becoming a historical asset to the town of Clifton Park, as it currently hosts lectures, youth programs, holiday events, and historical programs for the community. Given its rich history and historical elements, the tavern is a precious piece of history that upstate New York has to offer.